We're live in southern Israel with news tonight from the defense minister that his troops have now battled their way into Gaza City, thought to be the stronghold of Hamas. The fighting, which is street to street, is taking place just a few kilometers off in the darkness behind me across the border. It's exactly a month since Hamas killed 1,400 people in coordinated attacks on southern Israel planned in Gaza. And today, Israelis attended vigils, lit candles, and held a minute's silence in remembrance of those who died. Well, Israel's bombing raids have intensified in recent days. In the city of Khan Younis in southern Gaza, dozens of Palestinians are reported to have been killed. And now the fighting is said to be in the heart of Gaza City. Our first report tonight is from Jeremy Bowen.
Hamas released video of their men fighting in the streets of Gaza. They know they can't win a pitched battle, so they're using hit-and-run tactics. That will intensify as Israel's tanks and troops move deeper into Gaza City. After an Israeli strike in Khan Younis, southern Gaza, they were digging for survivors. The town is in the area Israel has told Palestinians to go to stay safe, but nowhere safe. Israel says this is self-defense. Palestinians call it genocide. Ahmed Ayash had 27 members of his family inside the house when it was hit.
This is the bravery of the so-called Israel. They show their might and power against civilians. Babies inside, kids inside, and elderly.
It is the mighty vengeance promised by Israel's prime minister when Hamas attacked a month ago. In Tel Aviv, at the empty table set for the hostages in Gaza, friends and families are mounting a 24-hour vigil. The national trauma Israel suffered a month ago is not lessening. In fact, they're reassessing everything, not just relations with the Palestinians, but also with Arab countries they thought they were getting closer to and who are now condemning everything they're doing in Gaza. And there's the issue of the safety of Jews in places around the world where the Palestinians get a lot of support. So even though Israel is more secure than a month ago, many more people are out and about, a real sense of threat, not just from Gaza, remains. Israel insists that force, not negotiations, will bring the hostages back. Shani Lukes' family hoped she was a hostage until she was confirmed dead a week ago. Friends filled her family home with her portraits. She was at the music festival that was attacked.
We got this horrible video that was shown all over. A friend of us sent it to us, and he said, I recognize Shani. This is Shani on the truck, on the pickup truck.
This is where she was face down?
Yeah. She was in a weird position, looks unconscious, blood on the head, and people were... the pickup was driving inside the Gaza Strip, and people were shouting and celebrating and spitting on her, and it was terrible, and we were just in shock.
Do you think Israel's doing the right thing now?
I don't know what in the end will be, because there are really many civilians, innocent civilians also there in Gaza, and they shouldn't suffer, but there needs to be something radical with the terrorism be done, because if not, we will be back in this in the next few years. They will get the weapons again, and they will train again.
Israel's pounding of Gaza has not stopped. Neither has its rage diminished. Jeremy Bowen, BBC News, in southern Israel.
Well, as we've been hearing, Israel is claiming to have reached the heart of Gaza City tonight. Let's talk to Paul Adams, who's live in Jerusalem. Paul, this potentially then is a significant moment in this conflict.
Clive, I think we can say that the battle for Gaza City has definitely begun. We have seen images in the last day or two that show that the Israeli military is all around the city. They've all the way down the coast. They've cut it off from the southern Gaza Strip. So their attention now is focusing ever more closely on that very, very built-up area of Gaza City and its nearby refugee camps. I think what they're going to do is mount operations from their positions on the edge into Gaza City to tackle what they regard as one of Hamas's major strongholds. The problem for them is that in many of the targets they have in mind, many, many thousands of Palestinian civilians are still clustered. And the Israelis argue that Hamas is using some of those civilians as human shields. We saw some people on the move today, thousands perhaps, making their way south along the road towards relative safety. But many, many remain, and that is going to be a problem. And then the question is, when the battle for Gaza City is done, where do the Israelis go then?
Indeed. Okay. Paul, thank you. Paul Adams there live in Jerusalem.